In this emotional journey, we begin by setting the stage for a powerful and unexpected moment between Melania Trump and her son, Barron. The spotlight is on Barron, a young man growing up in the public eye and often facing criticism that most people his age couldn't fathom. The story kicks off with Barron experiencing a particularly tough moment, an event or situation that leaves him feeling vulnerable and isolated. It's here that the true strength of the Trump family shines. The public, unaware of the deep emotional impact these challenges have on Barron, remains oblivious to the fact that he's just a teenager, dealing with pressures beyond his control. In the midst of this, Melania, ever observant and empathetic, watches her son from a distance, sensing his struggle. She's no stranger to the weight of public perception, having lived through her own share of scrutiny. And she knows exactly how important it is to offer Barron the support and love he needs at this critical moment. This introduction sets the tone for a heartfelt interaction, one that will ultimately reveal the powerful and transformative bond between mother and son, showing how Melania's compassion and wisdom are the key to Barron's strength. The scene unfolds with Barron Trump facing an unexpected incident that shakes his sense of security and leaves him in a vulnerable state. He is caught off guard by the harsh words of a critic or an unforeseen challenge that stirs up public judgment. This moment happens in a public setting, perhaps an event, school, or a social gathering where Barron's composure is tested. The weight of being constantly under a magnifying glass gets to him, and his calm facade cracks for a brief moment. In the chaos of the situation, we see Barron trying to maintain his dignity, but his internal struggle is evident. The harsh words from outsiders echo in his mind, and the pressure of living up to expectations weighs on him. It's a raw and emotional scene, one that shows Barron in a more human, relatable light. As Barron's emotional turmoil grows, Melania's protective instincts kick in. She watches from a distance, her motherly concern evident in her eyes. The public is unaware of the quiet turmoil he's enduring, and the moment captures the fragility of Barron's journey, despite his outward calm demeanor. This segment highlights Barron's vulnerability, while also setting the stage for Melania's comforting and powerful response that will soon follow. The contrast between his struggle and her compassionate reaction will showcase the strength of their bond, proving that even in moments of crisis, family support can be a transformative force. This segment highlights Barron's vulnerability, while also setting the stage for Melania's comforting and powerful response that will soon follow. The contrast between his struggle and her compassionate reaction will showcase the strength of their bond, proving that even in moments of crisis, family support can be a transformative force. Melania Trump, always composed and graceful, watches Barron from a distance as he endures the aftermath of the unexpected incident. Her sharp eyes miss nothing. She observes her son's body language, the subtle signs of distress that others might overlook. Her gaze softens as she watches Barron, who tries his best to maintain composure in the face of adversity, but it's clear that he is shaken. In this moment, Melania's protective instincts take over. She sees her son struggling with the weight of public scrutiny and the emotional toll it's taking on him. The silent pressure of always being in the spotlight is beginning to show, and Melania, having faced her own share of challenges, immediately understands the pain Barron is feeling. Her face reflects a mix of concern and determination, knowing that she must step in as a mother, as a protector. The scene then transitions to Melania quietly observing from a corner of the room, allowing Barron to process his emotions, but also preparing herself to be the emotional anchor he needs. She's aware that, in this moment, her presence is the comfort Barron needs more than anything else. There's a quiet strength in the way she observes, not rushing to intervene, but waiting for the right moment to speak to him, to reassure him that everything will be all right. The lighting in this scene is soft and warm, highlighting Melania's calm and collected presence, while subtly reflecting Barron's emotional struggle. The backdrop of the scene is elegant yet somber, reinforcing the weight of the moment. The contrast between Barron's internal battle and Melania's composed observations emphasizes her role as a steady pillar in his life. This segment is key in showcasing the deep bond between mother and son, as Melania begins to formulate her response, knowing exactly how to approach Barron and offer the support he needs without overwhelming him. As the emotional weight of the incident settles, Melania Trump approaches Barron, her steps quiet and purposeful, as if she's walking towards him in a space that's only theirs. The setting feels intimate, a stark contrast to the public spectacle that just transpired. The surroundings are soft and serene, with dimmed lights that create a sense of calm. The camera focuses on Melania's face, capturing the subtle shift in her expression as she prepares to speak words that will soothe her son's bruised heart. Barron, still processing the emotional blow from the unexpected incident, stands apart, his posture rigid but his eyes lost in thought. He doesn't seem to notice her approaching until Melania is right beside him. In this tender moment, she doesn't rush to speak. Instead, she simply places her hand gently on his shoulder, offering a touch of reassurance. "Barron," she begins, her voice steady but filled with warmth, "you are stronger than you know. People will always talk, always judge, but your worth is not defined by their words." Her words are measured, yet powerful, as if each one is carefully chosen to break through the wall of silence Barron has built around himself. Her presence is like a shield, offering protection from the world outside, as she takes the time to remind him of his inner strength. The camera lingers on Barron's face as the weight of his mother's words sinks in. His expression softens, the tension in his shoulders slowly dissipating. For a moment, it seems like he's no longer burdened by the noise of the world around him, but instead he's wrapped in the safety of Melania's message. Melania continues, her words resonating deeper now. "People may not always understand you, but I do. I see you for who you truly are, and you are a remarkable young man. Don't let anyone make you forget that." She speaks not as a public figure, but as a mother. Her voice filled with empathy and love. Her gaze is unwavering, locking eyes with Barron, ensuring that he hears every syllable. The lighting in this moment is soft and intimate, focusing on the subtle emotions exchanged between mother and son. There's a golden glow that seems to embrace both of them, highlighting the depth of their connection. The background is blurred, almost non-existent, emphasizing the importance of this private conversation. The silence in the room speaks volumes. Nothing matters but the bond between them. Barron's face begins to show the first signs of vulnerability. He nods slightly, the weight of his mother's message lifting some of the burden off his shoulders. The tension that had been so prominent just moments ago starts to fade, replaced by a quiet acceptance. It's clear that Melania's heartfelt message has pierced through the fog of doubt and confusion he had been carrying. As she finishes, Melania doesn't say anything more. She doesn't need to. Her touch on his shoulder and the gentle squeeze of his hand are enough. The unspoken connection between them says everything. For a brief moment, the world outside disappears, and in this intimate space, it's just Melania and Barron, two people who understand each other in a way no one else can. This scene is poignant, showing not only the strength of Melania as a mother, but also Barron's ability to find solace in her love and guidance. The message is clear. No matter what happens in the world outside, the support of family, especially a mother, can make all the difference in overcoming life's toughest moments. In the aftermath of Melania's heartfelt message, a deep emotional connection begins to form between mother and son, one that transcends the boundaries of words. Barron stands quietly, taking in the weight of his mother's words, but something in his demeanor has shifted. He no longer appears burdened by the incident, but instead his stance is more relaxed, the tension melting away as he processes the comfort she's offered him. Melania's gaze lingers on Barron, her expression soft but filled with an unspoken understanding. It's as if she knows exactly what he's feeling without him needing to say a word. She watches him with a mother's intuition, reading every slight shift in his face, every silent thought that passes through his mind. There's a deep sense of trust in the air, one that binds them in a way no outside influence can break. The camera focuses on their faces, capturing the subtle emotions that flicker across Barron's features. He looks at his mother, his eyes no longer guarded, but filled with a mix of gratitude and relief. For the first time since the incident, there's a faint smile playing on his lips, a sign that her words are reaching the parts of him that had been hardened by the public scrutiny he's endured. The audience can feel the weight of this quiet moment. It's as though the world outside no longer matters, and only the bond between Barron and Melania holds any significance. The lighting in the scene remains soft, almost ethereal, highlighting the emotional depth of their connection. The background is blurred, emphasizing the intimacy of the moment. The golden light surrounding them seems to symbolize the warmth and security that Melania has provided, as if the world outside can't touch them in this moment. It's a quiet, sacred space they share, with no distractions, no judgment, only love. Barron turns slightly toward Melania, his posture softening even more. The lingering weight in his chest seems to lift, replaced by a sense of peace. He exhales slowly, as though letting go of the burden he's been carrying, and for a brief moment, it seems as though he might speak. But Melania, sensing his need for space, simply nods at him, offering him her full support without pressuring him to respond. It's clear that Barron doesn't need to say anything to feel understood. The bond between them is deep enough that no words are required. Melania's steady presence, her unwavering belief in him, and her unconditional love have given him the strength to process the pain of the incident on his own. For the first time, Barron feels that he doesn't have to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders. He has his mother beside him, and that's all he truly needs. This emotional connection is a testament to the power of family. It's not about grand gestures or sweeping speeches. It's about the quiet moments of understanding, where no words are needed, but the love is undeniable. Barron's healing begins here, in this simple yet profound exchange, where his mother's love becomes the anchor he can always rely on. As Melania's heartfelt message to Barron begins to spread beyond the walls of their private moment, the public's reaction is swift and intense. The incident, which had initially stirred up negative press and harsh opinions, now takes on a different tone. People across the country, having witnessed the powerful bond between mother and son, start to shift their views. News outlets and social media platforms explode with commentary. On one hand, some commentators continue to criticize Barron and the First Family, asserting that public figures should not be given the same grace as private citizens. But on the other hand, many others begin to express admiration for the way Melania handled the situation. The narrative starts to change from one of criticism to one of empathy. Public figures, journalists, and everyday citizens alike weigh in on the mother-son moment. Some are touched by the genuine, unspoken support Melania showed, acknowledging the strength of a mother's love and how it can provide a safe haven in the midst of a storm. Others praise Barron for remaining composed, even under the harsh public scrutiny he had endured. He's no longer just the son of a political family, but a young man who faced public hardship with dignity. The reaction grows especially strong on social media. Hashtags like Melania Cares and Barron Strong trend worldwide, with thousands of posts praising Melania for stepping in when her son needed her most. Many share their own stories of family support, comparing their experiences to the very public moment they've just witnessed. It's clear that for many, Melania's actions resonate on a deeply personal level, and they see in her a figure who understands the importance of unconditional love, especially when faced with public scrutiny. Even in the world of politics, reactions are mixed but generally supportive. Some politicians, regardless of party affiliation, praise Melania for her composure and empathy. It's moments like these that remind us of the importance of family in the public eye, one senator tweets. What Melania has done today is a powerful example of the support every parent should show their child. There's an undercurrent of respect for how the First Lady handled herself in a moment of adversity, keeping the focus on the family and showing the strength of character that has defined her time in the public spotlight. But there are still those who insist that this is simply part of the political game. Critics argue that the Trumps are masters at spinning any narrative to their advantage, and some dismiss Melania's gesture as merely an attempt to salvage the family's image. Yet, these voices seem to be drowned out by the overwhelming tide of support pouring in from all sides. In the days that follow, Barron Trump begins to be seen in a new light. The public starts to view him as more than just the son of a controversial political figure. His resilience, his ability to stand tall despite the intense media spotlight, earns him the respect of many. People reflect on the humanity of the young man, who has largely stayed out of the public eye, and there's a sense of protectiveness that forms around him. Throughout the media coverage, Melania continues to be praised for how she guided Barron through this tough period. People refer to her as a quiet pillar of strength, someone who defends her family not with words, but with actions. The public, especially mothers and fathers, feel a deep connection to her, seeing in her a reflection of their own love for their children. The collective reaction creates a powerful moment of unity, as people come together to support the Trumps, not because of their politics, but because of the raw, universal bond that was showcased in the face of adversity. The family, who had been the target of so much negativity, now becomes a symbol of resilience and the power of love in the face of public judgment. As Melania's message to Barron continues to resonate in the public sphere, the ripple effect of her heartfelt actions begins to spread across various segments of society. What started as a single, deeply personal moment between mother and son quickly transforms into a broader cultural conversation about family values, resilience, and the importance of empathy in the face of criticism. The ripple effect is first felt within the media. Many journalists who had previously scrutinized the Trump family for their controversial actions and decisions now take a step back and reassess the way they report on them. Editorial pieces that once focused on the drama surrounding Barron's life now shift toward a more empathetic lens, highlighting the young man's strength and his mother's unwavering support. Some news outlets even begin to frame the situation as a story of redemption, suggesting that this moment shows a softer side of the first family that has often been overlooked. Social media, too, plays a pivotal role in the spread of this emotional moment. Initially, the reaction from netizens was mixed, with some continuing to criticize the Trumps, while others rallied behind them. But as more people witnessed the raw sincerity of Melania's gesture and Barron's poise, a greater consensus begins to form. Social media platforms are flooded with supportive messages, with many users sharing stories of their own experiences as parents or children who have faced adversity. These posts are tagged with hashtags like #FamilyFirst, Melania Strength, and Barron Trump, which quickly trend across platforms. The impact of this viral moment extends beyond the usual political followers. People from all walks of life, regardless of their political affiliation, are drawn to the authenticity of the mother-son relationship. Parents across the globe begin to share Melania's message with their own children, using it as a lesson on how to remain strong in the face of adversity. For some, it becomes a teaching moment about the importance of empathy, kindness, and standing up for one's family when faced with unfair judgment. This moment, originally seen by some as a typical political family drama, morphs into a powerful lesson in human connection. Many schools and organizations use Melania's message to initiate discussions on the importance of mental and emotional health, particularly in youth. Counselors and educators note the profound effect the message has had on young people, encouraging them to speak out against bullying, handle public scrutiny with grace, and understand that every family faces challenges, regardless of their public image. The effect also extends into the world of pop culture. Celebrities, influencers, and public figures across various industries begin to comment on the moment, with many offering words of encouragement to both Melania and Barron. Some use their platforms to draw attention to the kindness and humility shown in the face of harsh criticism, while others express admiration for Barron's strength as a young individual under immense pressure. The ripple effect reaches every corner of public life, shifting the conversation toward themes of resilience, family, and the importance of defending one another against negativity. Within the political sphere, the ripple effect is also felt, but in a more nuanced way. While some partisan critics continue to downplay the significance of the moment, others within the political community acknowledge Melania's poised response as a sign of leadership and maturity. A few politicians, even from opposing parties, offer public praise for her handling of the situation. with some drawing comparisons to how leaders should conduct themselves in the face of criticism. As the days go by, the effect deepens. The story of Melania's message and Barron's strength is featured in various cultural discussions, from television talk shows to podcasts, where it sparks debate on how society perceives public figures, their families, and the emotional toll of living under constant scrutiny. The media begins to explore how moments like these can shape perceptions of public figures in the long run. There is a shift toward more respectful reporting and less sensationalism surrounding the Trump family, though some remain skeptical. Ultimately, the ripple effect reaches a point where it's no longer just about Melania and Barron. It's a broader societal conversation about human dignity. People are inspired to reflect on their own relationships, considering how they, too, can stand by their loved ones during difficult times. And while the Trumps remain in the public eye, the way the world views them has subtly shifted. The power of family, support, and unity in the face of judgment has become the core takeaway from this moment. What started as a private exchange between a mother and her son has now sparked a global conversation, reminding us all of the universal power of love, support, and resilience. In conclusion, the heartfelt message from Melania Trump to Barron, after an unexpected public incident, not only reshaped the way we view the Trump family, but also ignited a wider cultural conversation on the importance of family, empathy, and resilience. What seemed like a private moment of motherly love quickly blossomed into a global movement that transcended political lines and reached people from all walks of life. This event taught us that beneath the headlines, public figures are just like everyone else, facing their own struggles, dealing with public judgment, and seeking the support of their families. Melania's gesture, one of quiet strength and unwavering support for her son, became a beacon of hope for many who face adversity in their own lives. Her message was simple but powerful. Stand by your loved ones, be kind in the face of judgment, and show empathy in times of difficulty. The ripple effect of this message was felt in media, on social media platforms, and within communities, as people from all around the world connected with the authenticity and sincerity of the moment. The Trumps, once often perceived through a critical lens, were now seen in a more human light, reminding us of the importance of empathy in the public eye. In the end, it wasn't just about the Trumps. It was about the universal lesson they shared. A lesson about family, support, and standing strong together. Melania's actions and Barron's calm demeanor showed us that, even in the face of harsh criticism, love and support can help us rise above and move forward with dignity. The emotional impact of this moment is far-reaching, and the message it carries will likely resonate for years to come. It's a reminder that in the age of social media, judgment, and public scrutiny, we must all take a step back and remember that everyone, regardless of their status, deserves respect, compassion, and understanding. The heartwarming gesture from Melania to Barron serves as a shining example of how love and family can unite us all, regardless of our differences.